guys, and welcome back to Algarve. I'm Nick, and today we've gone right to the western tip of Portugal, to Sagres, and we're going to start in this fabulous 15th century fort. The fort itself dates back to the 15th century. It was built by Henry the Navigator, and it was a major part of Portugal's defences. And today it's open to the public, it's quite a large area, you can have a good look around. It really is quite an impressive structure. We started at the bastion of St. Barbara. How do I know that? Because the Portuguese very considerately put these lovely little placards all around the fort so I can pretend I know what I'm talking about. On the northern side of the main square, which is about 200 metres across in each direction, you've got the original church, Our Lady of the Grace. This was originally built when the fort was originally constructed, but it was damaged in the earthquake of 1755 and then repaired afterwards. The whole fort itself is just outside the main town of Sagres. It's a little bit quieter than a lot of the other spots we cover in Portugal. It's a little bit more open, a little bit more barren, a little bit more wild, but well worth a visit, an amazing contrast to some of the other places we show you. It costs about €3 to come in per person. I'm sure there's some discounts for kids and old age pensioners as well. And once you're inside, you have got a little sort of gift shop, and there's a rather nice exhibition centre as well. One of the features of the fort, obviously, it's a fort, it's for war, for defences, you're going to have an armoury. And typical of these places, they do put the armoury a little bit away from the main sort of living quarters and stuff. Obvious reason for that, if someone's careless with a match, kaboom, and you don't want everybody dying. My first impression of this place is it's a really peaceful, quiet place. It's sort of, even now, there's hardly anyone around. All you've got is the sound of the birds, sound of the winds coming in off the ocean, and you've got this really nice sort of, well, it's not a boardwalk because it's concrete, but you can walk all the way around the perimeter, quite a nice walk. I mean, it's a stunning view of the Atlantic. The actual place is renowned for the sort of African influence as well. Some of the plants and fauna can only be found here. We're at the sort of closest point to Africa. There's a lot of people just come here and sort of contemplate how small we are in the general scheme of things. And there's so much going on in the world. But it's absolute peace and quiet here. Another very helpful little plaque, and this one's telling you about the sort of fauna and plant life here. Because it's such an outcrop and so wind swept and got a salty atmosphere, you're going to get some quite unique flora and fauna here. And yes, I did say flora and fauna perfectly. Well done, Nick. It's always worth going a little bit off the beaten track. And even here, we saw a sort of wooden structure slightly away from the cliff edges. We came over, we had a look, and we found the most amazing hole that goes right the way down to the sea. And you can hear the sea rushing at the bottom of the hole. I can actually see some waves down there. I don't know if you're gonna capture it on camera. And guess what? It's got an echo. Deo, deo. I hope you can hear that, because if you can't, I'm going to look like a right idiot. Ah, I see a ship at 24 degrees. Load the cannon. But seriously, now you have telescopes where you would have had cannons. It's not a proper fort if you don't have some serious cannons, and these look very authentic, a little bit rusty now, but in the day I can imagine they were quite fearsome. Let's talk a little about the weather. It's February now, beginning of February, 18, 90 degrees. The weather's a bit changeable, but still perfectly pleasant. if you want to visit this lovely part of the world. In the centre of the main courtyard, you've got this round structure, which is actually, they think, a mariner's compass, which would have been used as part of the sailing navigation academy. So that's pretty much all of the main fort. It's taken us a good couple of hours to walk around it. By the way, just outside there's a massive sort of camping area for motor caravans, etc. So it's a really popular place to come, park up, enjoy the quiet, enjoy the landscape, enjoy the surfing, etc., which we're going to go and have a look at now. So here we are on what Sagres is really famous for, which is surfing, and this is Tunnel Beach, which is really popular all year round with surfers, etc. And you can book this sort of thing through the links on our website, and that helps us continue making these videos as well. So as you'll see, this is a really beautiful sandy beach. It's a centre for a lot of the water sports in this area. Obviously really popular with surfboarding, but you can also get kayak rental, a paddleboard. It's a stunning beach, really stunning. Sagres itself is a very laid-back sort of place. It's all about the surfing, back to nature, quiet, peaceful. Laid-back place, spread out, but plenty to do, plenty of sport, plenty of boutique little places and restaurants, and you can book it all through us by clicking on the links. So we've come up from the beach and the surfing. You've got the bulls behind us, very traditional, local. Behind that, you've got the guys playing chess. And behind that, you've got the skateboard park. That's it, really. It's a laid-back, sporty, family sort of town.
We were yesterday in Sagres, and there was a very nice tapas restaurant.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you have to go here to see the
And
sunset.
very important to have a glass of wine while you watch the sunset.
Always.
Always a glass of wine. And I have to admit, it is a beautiful place, very popular with camper vans here.
Camper vans also.
You just come here, park up, have a glass of wine, watch the sunset, and enjoy life, right?
Yeah, enjoy.
If you come out of Sagres itself, go along the coast to the north towards Cape St. Vincent, and you'll come across, amongst other things, Beliche Fortress, which is where we are now. And all the way along that road, it's only about 4 or 5 kilometres. There's lovely sunsets, lovely spots to park and watch a glorious sunset, have a glass of wine, and enjoy this beautiful part of the world. So that was Sagres. We've ended up at Cabo St. Vincent. It's literally the western end of Europe. If you've crossed from America, you've come down the Bay of Biscay, this is what you're heading for. And then you come around the corner into the Mediterranean eventually. So that was Sagres. Behind me, we've now got North and South America that way, Africa that way, Sagres and Portugal behind us. I'm Nick, to Algarve. We'll see you next time.